Dear diarrhea. Diarrhea full of shit. Just play along. Me, myself, and I. No one else. So, yo, I'm so legit. Katie Boo. Hey, girl, how about you? You want to give this message to your friend, Fatty McFatfuck? If she really wants to improve her channel, really, she should stop, showing herself in the videos, and don't even show her hands. Get somebody else to do her ASMR videos while she leaves the house for an hour, or preferably indefinitely. Don't speak. I guess she could show, her apartment. I don't know if you guys live in the same apartments or what, a condo building or whatever. For some reason, it kind of looks like maybe the window setup is the same. Oh shit, I don't know. I'm confused, but no, maybe. It's not, video cameras and stuff. And it's good that her dad, encourages her, but her folks fat too. She got a man. Things that make you go. Bah. That's some fucked up shit. Okay, so our yard is actually, it's either between 40 and 60 miles from your house. I was confused as to where it was at. I thought it was north of Chicago a little bit. It's actually southwest of Chicago, off of I-55. I'm not going to say where it's at, but yeah, it's like I said. I know you live near O'Hare Airport, roughly, kinda, and it's like our yard is like 57 miles from O'Hare Airport. 55, whatever, because when you type in O'Hare, of course, it tells you, Terminal 1, Terminal 2, pickups, arrivals, and you got all these options. Super! Most airports have signs, you drive there. So, like I said, GPS can kind of woo. And anyway, airports are pretty easy to navigate, just actually. It usually goes something like this. Departures, passenger drop-off. Arrivals, passenger pickup. Parking, where you take like a, if you drive yourself there and you take a shuttle, or whatever. And then if you're the person being dropped off or whatever, you walk in, and it's roughly universal, like at every airport. Again, departures, that way. If you're, departing. You're being dropped off to pick someone up. I don't know how that would work. Like if you wanted to, seems like that would just be passenger pickup. So yeah, arrivals, follow that sign and then go to passenger pickup, and whatever. But yeah, so you check in, you get your ticket, so you get your online stuff. Hey, it's me. Check your baggage and stuff. You got your carry-on, whatever. Too big, goes down the belt. You take this one with you. Oops, okay. Give you your extra paper ticket. Then you go in there, and then and I gotta scan your anyway. Everybody, my point is, what was my point? What was my damn point? I recently took an airport trip, so it's like fresh in my mind. But yeah, every now and then, and yeah, they're pretty much all the same. Then they run the thing, through the thing, and you go through the thing, your body, give you your bag back, and then you go. to the place, and there's chairs, and you sit there, and there's all kinds of stuff. There's little express restaurants, shit like that. I remember one time it was somebody's funeral, yeah, and me and my grandma, man, I think we all drove there, and my granddad was going to stay for like an extra week. I think I had to get back to go to work or something, and so did my grandma. But my granddad was retired because my grandma didn't want to quit working. So we took a flight back. Just a little hop skip flight. Yeah, and I went to the bar because I was bored. So I got as drunk as I could, as fast as I could. It was like 7 shots for a little, a couple fingers of whiskey, right? And I gotta, like have a chaser, right? So I was like kind of sipping it, whatever, as fast as I could. So I was like, $7 little glass of whiskey and fucking whatever it was for a beer. And then on the plane, like, I don't remember where my grandma was sitting next to me or whatever, but I was like, yeah, give me a couple of them little bottles. And I succeeded. And somebody picked us up. I remember, obviously, I didn't drive like that. Yeah, somebody had to come pick us up. And I succeeded. By the time we landed, I was drunk. I wasn't, like, stumbling or anything like that. Plus, I mean, you couldn't tell. Nobody brought it up, anyway, you know what I mean? Like I said, I wasn't slurring my words or stumbling, but because I think that's illegal. Public intoxication. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that might be illegal. I know open container is illegal. So, like, if you go to a picnic and bring a cooler with a bunch of beer, I think that's illegal. You can drink outside, but it has to be, like, in the patio area of a restaurant. I don't know what the laws are. I don't know. And you get, like, temporary permits and stuff, like if they're having a festival or some shit. But, anyway, I guess. And I remember there was turbulence, and I was like, ooh, entertainment, yeah. Because flying is so boring. And it was storming when we landed, and I was looking out the window like, oh, pretty lightning. It was dark. And the fucker turned the lights on, the pilot or co-pilot, and I was like, you bitch. Because it was like, it's dark, right? Or maybe that was normal. They do that. I don't know. But I was like, anyway. So it's a little bit farther than I thought. It's southwest. Because you live roughly kind of in the heart of Chicago. What's her name lives like 13, 14 minutes from O'Hare? The Mad Russian. Fatty McFatfuck must live like really close to O'Hare, because you could like hear the airplanes pretty, like they were pretty close, during takeoff and whatnot. You live near O'Hare, but a little bit farther out, I think. And then Little Miss can eat a potato whole. Sideways, Mama Bear. I think she lives the farthest away from O'Hare, all of you. She lives like the weird, it's like, I mean, you probably know what I'm talking about. You've seen the signs that says like northwest suburbs, southwest suburbs. Like maybe that's where she lives. It's like a burb belt that kind of is around the Chicago area. I don't know. But yeah, it's a little bit farther than I thought. But fortunately, I'm just a troll. I don't do that shit, and this is complete and utter fucking bullshit. Although, well, you'd still have to get out the city. Well, it's pretty bad. Traffic. So, but yeah, it's kind of down there, I-55, it kind of, and then it kind of, I mean, there's a couple interstates that kind of, they all kind of converge there in that asshole of Illinois known as Chicago. But if I wanted to troll, did that sort of shit, and this was a complete and utter fucking bullshit. Like I said, show me your town, girl. Yeah. And I'll show you Denver. You know, I'm like, see, it's yeah. There's the building where it's like one side goes up higher than the other. Yeah, and then yeah, just look up Denver skyline. It'll probably show the mountains all clean in the background and stuff. Snow-capped. So, and we got a transit system too. It's just, you know, whatever. That ain't my say. But anyway, like I said, there's some shit down there. There's some shit down there. There's like theaters and stuff. We can go catch a play, you know. Like I remember I saw the river dance. You ever seen that stuff where they do like the tap dancing all in a line? You know, there's some shit down there, you know. It ain't no Windy City Chicago. But yeah, you know. And then we'll get up in the mountains. Like I said, not to sound stupid, but my parents, you know, my parents, my mommy and daddy, my parents, my folks, you know, they live like 20 minutes away. Sister lives like 10. They own a motherfucking cabin. It's got a little stream running through it. It's not like this big river, but it's a stream, so you can set the lawn chair out there, you know. It's all rustic, you know. It's all, you'll like it. You'll like it. Listen to me, you know, stupid shit. If I want to troll, did that sort of shit, and this wasn't completely utter fucking bullshit. You know, it's a quaint, like, cozy little cabin. You know, it's nice. It's fucking nice. And it's made out of, like, wood and shit. You know, like the logs. Like, inside and out. It's nice. It's got a fucking fireplace, for crying out loud. The whole damn place is made out of wood. But, it's got a kitchen with an island and modern amenities and stuff. Woo. And it's not too far. It's not like way the plum fuck, you know, in the mountains, you know. But, and then they got that condo. I haven't seen it yet. It's at a ski resort. Winter. You like skiing, snowboarding, whatever, you know. Pick-pat, little girl like you. The ski lifts, especially the ones that don't have the bar that comes down. Oh, it's scary. You know, they bring it around and the guy kind of grabs it and pulls it back, and then you set your ass down on it, and then, whoo, he lets it go, and you kind of swing a little bit, and you're like, shit! And it, like, speeds up. They got, like, I don't know how it's set up, but it's kind of slow. And then it goes out, and it's like, and it makes a weird sound. You're just sort of swinging, and then you go across the stuff, and it's like, the little wheels, and you're like, shit, we're gonna die! And you're like, some areas, you're only, like, 10 feet off the ground, and other areas, you're like, man, like a couple thousand, and it's like, fuck, you know, and there's no bar, right? And then sometimes they stop because they're like, some kids got to get on or whatever, and the whole thing goes, oh, forward and backward and forward and back. You're like, shit, fuck, it'll be so magical. Have you ever been skiing? Oh, girl, like, that'll be the thing, you know what I mean? Like, I'll ask the guy, like, what's your most intense ski lift? I'll be like, lift? You mean slope? No, fuck the slopes. It's the easy part. What is the most intense ski lift? The one that goes the fastest with the highest, you know, elevation from the ground. Oh, that would be they usually name them for some reason, if I remember correctly. It's been a minute since I've been to the mountain. But yeah, like I said, I'm different. Oh, the slopes are wonderful, but the ski lifts are fucking magnificent. Can I just not get off and go back around? yeah. They'd probably stop it. I'm sure they have a reverse. Hey! Oh, that's another thing, too. The getting off. Especially if you're a snowboarder and you're like an amateur, because your body kind of wants to twist to one side or the other. Fuck. We're gonna have some fun. So, and you don't have your back foot in yet. You can kind of step it down in there, or set it between the bindings, and just do whatever. And, oh, damn. So, I don't even like skiing or snowboarding. I don't like anything anymore. There's just too many people, you know what I mean? And then it's lunchtime, and it used to be kind of like, hey, go get some grub, but these days it's like, where all these fucking pieces of shit come from? It's a fucking Wednesday afternoon. What are y'all doing here? And then you go in, you know, and you're like, oh, I'll just get some cheeseburger or something. That'll be $34.68. What? Fuck! You know, and just, so, yeah. But other than that, you know, it's worth the bullshit. Not for me, it ain't. But if you were by my side, it would be. I really hope you've never been skiing. Oh, shit. You know, you'll fall, and I'm like, yeah, get up, you fucking pussy. What are you, a little girl? I mean, I know you're a little girl, but I mean, are you like, you know, a little kid or something? All right, here's the fun part. And I'd get you up there, you know, and I'd just push your ass down to me. So anyway, I think, if you, I don't know. Snowboarding, probably wouldn't be fun for you. Okay, now I gotta tell this stupid story real quick. One time I went down a hill, and they had a jump, and I was kind of working up the nerve to go down it, so I'd go off to the side, and then I'd poof and poof off the other side, and I would catch a little bit of air, you know. And then I got the nerve, and I just leaned into it, right, and I got body control, so I'm going straight, whoosh, right off the edge. I turned sideways like instantly, and and stopped. You know what I mean? It's just like, that's the natural state. It was so ridiculous. I must have looked like a fool. So I was sideways, you know, looking, and then, you know, woof, ground disappears. Within like half a second, boom, turned, and didn't keep going, just was going through the air. You know, the board is, you know, I'm on a snowboard flying through the air like I'm on skis. And I must have been airborne for probably like 4 seconds. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004. I worked up the nerve, you know. Bruce crashed. Somehow I got my snow pants just packed with snow. Man, it was like my ass crack was packed with snow and everything. It was ridiculous. I don't know how the hell it happened, but wasn't hurt. Was laughing. Thought it was funny. But I must have looked like such a shithead. But anyway. And then I was like, this is stupid. You know what? I'm cool with just making turns. You know what I mean? So, go down the mountain, turn to the left, turn to the right. You know, and they usually have like a pipe built, you know, and there's people who are good at it, you know. They'll do some shit. The half pipe, you know. When I was a kid, I had some neighbors that were like high school kids, and I used to hang out with them, and they had a half pipe in their backyard. They had like a couch and stuff. They were good kids. They didn't do drugs or anything. I remember I'd go over there, and they'd do like the shit, and I'd just be like rolling around, you know, all stupid. I couldn't skate and shit. And I got my skate shop. It was like, a good skateboard is really light and simple, and mine was like complex and heavy, and, you know, their girlfriends and stuff were out there, and they were like, oh, you're so cute, and that was that. What else? Snowboard thing. Oh yeah, the alpine slide thing where I went down there. I'd go so, you know, the fast one, so there was this dip, and I'd catch a little bit of air, and one time I caught the air, and the side of the sled kind of hit the side, and it boom, hit another thing, and I was good again. And I'd go up the sides, you know, around the corners, you know, where it would kind of go over the edge, you know. Then I'd come around the corner, and there's this girl going real slow, boom, hit her. She like, I don't remember. Then a friend came down behind, boom, hit me somehow. I was on the track on my back, sliding down head first. My back was all like white and shit, and this guy came up running. I mean, it's just like a kiddie shit, but, you know, it was like, you know, an accident. And he's like, oh, you okay? And I'm like, yeah. So, the little handle, you know, the sleds. Both of us. You know? You could get fucked up on that thing, and we were probably like, we weren't old enough to drive, but we were like 15 and 14, right? So we've got some mass to us, right? Like I probably weighed like 180 pounds when I was 15. I don't know how much you're supposed to weigh, but like I said, I was kind of a stocky ass motherfucker. You know, I could bench 250 when I was 18, which is respectable for an 18-year-old, but not for a grown-ass man. I'm a strong boy, you know what I mean? So we had some mass, you know, to get down there. I think he weighed roughly the same. He was taller than me. You know, we could get that shit going. And the brakes are just this little, you know, plastic thing that you lift up so the wheels aren't on the track anymore. But we was hardcore, man. At the family, we owned that family fun center. We owned that shit. We was lapping everybody in the little go-karts. So, although they did have these go-karts at an actual racetrack, they weren't the shifter karts. They were centrifugal clutch, which kind of took more skill, because if you lost your momentum, you'd slow down. So, well, you know, I was pretty good at passing everybody. And I actually lapped a dude on a shifter kart. And then, of course, he lapped me because he was like, oh, hell no. He must have been just like, I don't know, tuning something in. But just look it up if you want to. Shifter karts, those things haul ass. But you step on the gas, you know, and it's just like, you know, it goes. But the rental karts, and you had to put on the helmet, the neck guard, and the gloves, and the coveralls and shit. You know, they were those little ones that were a pain in the ass to get in and out of, you know, low to the ground. They probably went about 45 miles an hour, and, you know, it's fun, you know. And it was enough where you could crash. Family fun center karts, you can't really crash those. It's just, you know. I mean, one time in Florida, I was in 6th grade, they had the track, it was kind of wet, but they didn't close it, and I went around the corner and did a 360 and kept going. But that's the closest thing, you know, that you're going to come to as far as like overdriving. But those karts, you could crash. You go around a corner too fast, you spin out, go off the track, you know, and then you got to get your momentum going again. So, but I remember whenever I would go around the corners, chunks of rubber would come flying off the tires. I was that fucking awesome. But I didn't crash. So, that's funny. Yeah, we'll go do that. I'll lap your ass for sure. Because they're not going to like flip over, right? They'll spin out, but they won't flip because they're wide and shit. So yeah, I'll drive right up next to you, you know. Like I said, you know, one piston, centrifugal clutch. You know, so even though it's kind of weird, you know, like when you're next to another engine that's making noise, it's kind of like the vibration going through the air, so it sounds different. So I'll be up next to you, you know, you'll be like, oh, and I'll come back around, and you don't know it's me, you know, you'll hear me like lightly laughing. I'll be looking at you like, ah! And I'll just gently kiss your tires, just, you know, we'll be doing the same speed, but I'll just sort of, you know, boom, you know, and you'll be like, ah, you fucking asshole. I'll be like, ah, you know, and just, and like I said, the sound of the engines, you know, they're kind of like, you know, it's chaos. It's chaos. So it'll be funny. Yeah. The go-kart king. Yeah. Yeah. It's, if I want to troll, did that sort of shit, and this wasn't complete and utter fucking bullshit. Because I'd fuck with you. You know, within reason, you know. I'd, you know, gauge your temperature and how you were reacting and stuff. But yeah. I will fuck with you.